Good morning. Welcome to the Senate Chamber. Today is Friday, June 14, 2024, exactly 10:40 in the morning, and we're here this morning to hear the nominee for the zoning board, Mr. Steve K. Jang. And I'd like to call this meeting this morning to order. And if I may ask the LA to please call the roll.
Representative Blas Jonathan Atto,
Present.
Representative Diego V.F. Camacho, Representative Vicente C. Camacho,
Present.
Senator Edith E. De Leon Guerrero,
Present.
Representative Marissa R. Flores, Senator Karina L. Magofnia, Representative Danita K. Yangtame. Madam Chair, 3 members are present, 4 members are absent.
With 3 members present and 4 absent, we have established the necessary number to conduct our business this morning. That is under Rule 4, attendance and quorum under Section 2, and that's item 2 on the agenda. And let the record reflect that Representatives Diego Camacho, Senator Corina, Representative Marissa Flores, and Representative Danita Yangtimay is excused from this meeting this morning. Moving on to item number 3, may I hear a motion for the adoption of the agenda? There is a motion to adopt the agenda, and it has been seconded. All those in favor say aye. Nays. Agenda this morning is hereby adopted. Before we move on to item number 4, I also want to inform the viewing public that we are live on cable TV, channel 23, and also live on the CNMI Legislature's YouTube channel, which will be shared on the CNMI Legislature's Facebook page as well. And assisting us this morning is our Senate Legal Counsel, Antoinette Villagomez, Senate Legislative Assistant, Devin Macaranas, our IT Assistant, Jonathan Diaz, and Sergeant at Arms, Benjamin Terlahi. Thank you for assisting us this morning. Moving on to item number 4, we are now open for public comments. You may step up and please identify yourself and the entity you are representing, and comment on the single item on the agenda this morning for the nominee for CNMI Zoning Board, Mr. Steve K. Jang.
Good morning, Hafaday, Zantiro, Chairwoman Edith De Leon Guerrero, and members of the Judiciary and Governmental Operations Committee under the Saipan and Northern Islands Legislative Delegation. For the record, my name is Jean-Paul B. Regis, Special Projects Coordinator under the Office of the Governor. Due to conflicting of schedule, the Special Assistant for Administration, Mr. Oscar M. Babauta, has assigned myself to represent the administration. And on behalf of the Honorable Governor Arno I. Palacios and the Honorable Lieutenant Governor David M. Apateng, I thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. I am pleased to introduce Mr. Steve K. Jang, the Governor's nominee for the Commonwealth Zoning Board. Mr. Jang is an accomplished manager and a business leader within our community. He is an exceptional public servant and a business entrepreneur with an impressive track record of success in the private sector. Governor Palacios and Lieutenant Governor Apateng have expressed their complete trust and confidence in Mr. Jang's nomination to serve on the Commonwealth Zoning Board. I know he stands ready to answer your question and present his plans for the future. We kindly ask for your favorable and prompt approval of Mr. Jang's nomination. Thank you, Jesus Mosi Zangiliso, for the opportunity to introduce him to this august body.
Jesus Mosi, Mr. John Paul Regis, for your public comment this morning. We are still open for public comments. If anybody else is here to make a public comment on the agenda item, please step up and state your name and entity you are representing. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee of EAGI. My name is Andrew Sheen. I'm currently the state board member for the Board of Education, 18 CNMI, and I'm here as a private citizen to provide oral testimony and support for the nominee, Mr. Steve Jang, as a member of the CNMI Zoning Board. As for the record, I come here as a personal friend for Mr. Jang. Long time I've been associated with him for the many years, being that I met him first in Guam and then now here in the CNMI. He's a very prominent businessman, owner right now of the current Plumeria restaurant and the Eti Cafe down in Garapan. And Mr. Jang has already took the opportunity to accept the nomination for a member of the board for the reason that he finds the cinema in Saipan as a home for him now. And he would like to be a part of this tremendous body that will be describing us to moving forward with all the zoning policies and laws that the cinema deserves from Rhoda, Tinian, and Saipan, and also even the Northern Mariana Islands. But I think with Mr. Jang right now, he has the attitude of looking forward to having a balanced perspective in the development of our Commonwealth in terms of zoning with all the public lands, especially that we hold right now in trust with our people. He has pretty much has the understanding of the industrial, residential, and commercial zonings areas that he has in mind, but he would like to provide more impetus to more of what he can do for the CNMI in terms of the people and the lands of all the people here in the Commonwealth. So with that, I think that he is the right asset, and he will contribute a lot to the worthiness of this board that is needed in place to make more of a balance of development moving forward with our Commonwealth in terms of preservation of our pristine islands, our lands throughout the Commonwealth, and also for the development for our future generations to come. So, with that, I hope the committee could consider and accept his nomination, and I look forward to assisting committee of any other questions they may have. But I really thank the committee for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments this morning, Mr. Orsini. We are still open for public comments. If there's anybody else that is here to make a public comment on the nomination for the zoning board. Okay, there's nobody else, so we are officially closing this section of the agenda. Now we move on to item number 5 on the agenda. We now invite the nominee, Mr. Steve K. Jang, to please step forward. And before you make your statement, please remain standing and the LA would administer the oath.
Steve K. Jang, you do solemnly swear under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you shall give in the matter at hand shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you. You may have your seat and you may present your opening statement. You have 5 minutes before this body. You may proceed.
Thank you. Thank you. Buenos dias, everyone. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, Senate President Dylan Guerrero, and all the members of the JGO committee. I'm both honored and humbled to have this opportunity to appear before this honorable body today. I'm exceedingly grateful and elated for this opportunity to give back to the community. As you know, I have owned and operated small businesses for more than 30 years here in the CNMI. Some of you may remember when I owned the Rainbow Color store in Garapan, and more recently, I managed Plumeria Steakhouse and Ete Cafe in Garapan. As a result of my business, I have interacted with the CNMI zoning office many times. Through these experiences, I became familiar with both zoning office and the zoning board. I can say with a confidence that the zoning office is an integral part of the Commonwealth's economic infrastructure. Every business on Saipan, from the largest to the smallest, must go through the zoning office in order to obtain a zoning permit and then to get a business license. The zoning process implicates numerous issues that impact businesses, such as land use, conditional use, landscaping, parking, signage, urban planning, community development, among other things. In turn, that means this is vitally important for the zoning board to be comprised of people who understands the ins and outs of the interacting with the zoning board and the zoning office. Over the years that I have been in the business in the CNMI, I have had many interactions. So, uh, so it is a very important that this office is a major function of the CNMI. So in short, I believe that it is the requisite insight to be an effective member of the zoning board. So if I'm confirmed to the zoning board, I pledge that I will do utmost to ensure that the zoning board and the zoning office provide efficient, streamlined services in order to help business owners and both large and small function in the current economy. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Jang, for your comment this morning, and please provide the committee a copy of your statement this morning so that we could make that document part of official document with the hearing this morning. We're going to move on right now to item number 6 under discussion. So the floor is now open for the members to have a discussion with the nominee. Members, recognize Representative Vicente Camacho.
Good morning, Mr. Zhang, the viewing public and colleagues. Mr. Zhang, thank you for accepting the nomination. I have reviewed your business background, and I'm quite impressed. And I have to be impressed because you're actually still in business. So the question I want to ask, if you were confirmed to the zoning board, what little things do you believe should be better managed or improved in order for services rendered to the public would guarantee a better effort? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. First, I will consult with zoning board colleagues, and I have a lot of ideas, good ideas, such as beautification and change the image of Saipan. Like I said, there's many ideas but it is my idea, but I'll bring that idea to the board and let the board decide as to recommend as to how we can enhance or elevate the image of Saipan.
One more question. You have to provide parking for your business establishment. Do you believe that the parking area are big enough for the big cars that are coming into the cinema, or are they too small?
As for the again, thank you for the question. As for the parking space, God does not make the land anymore. So our uniqueness of this island is very critical. So as far as for the parking space, is the prerogative of the business. So if you don't have a parking space, then you can't survive. But it should not be the government who's dictating the business. If the business goes out of the business because of the parking space or for whatever reason, it's the business prerogative, is their investment. So, but as far as the parking space is concerned, I think there has to be looked at. So I would like to discuss with the rest of the zoning board on that.
One more question, Madam Chair. So when you drive around the island, you see all kinds of businesses sprout all over. One of them is really auto shops. Do you think that the zoning should find a way to consolidate all these businesses, let's say steel factories, construction companies, auto shops, steel shops? Do you think that right now they are correctly in their places, or is there something we need to do to kind of get them out of the villages? And where would you propose we put these businesses?
Thank you again for the question. That's why this urban planning community development is so critical when it comes to that subject. Um, like I said, I have very, very good ideas, which I'm going to consult with the colleagues and the zoning board members, and I will go from there.
And the reason I brought that up is because there are people out there that are concerned about their environment around them, the noise, pollution, dust, all that. So if I have to recommend something, I think that zoning board should look into that. We're not saying kick them out. We're saying let's make the environment around them safer, cleaner, until the zoning board actually figures out how we're gonna help them, relocate them if we have to. Property land here is getting scarce. So if we are gonna protect the environment, I believe we need to be looking at all these things. Where are we gonna place them correctly where the environment will be clean and there won't be complaints from the residents? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Representative Camacho, for your questions. I now recognize Representative BJ Atto.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't really have any questions for Mr. Jang, but first and foremost, I'd like to thank the administration for appointing Mr. Jang, and most especially Mr. Jang, thank you for accepting the nomination to serve
Thank you.
in the zoning board. I know there's a lot of work ahead of you with the zoning board members and the administrative team, and you're taking on that responsibility in addition to running your businesses here in the cinema. But coming from your background, it's going to be very useful and helpful to the zoning board because of the challenges that you face as a businessman, not just in zoning, but also in regards to permitting and all the other stuff for your business license. And I think that this will assist, as the previous speaker, the nominee that was just confirmed for the zoning board, had mentioned that zoning can actually assist in streamlining these businesses and potential new investors into the Commonwealth as we move forward. And again, I look forward to working with you and the other board members with zoning and your administrative team. Thank you again for accepting the nomination by the administration. Thank you. I yield my time,
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative BJ Atto. And now we come complete circle, and it's my turn now to make ask a question or make a comment. So I saw on your resume under publications, revitalization of the Santa Maria economy, Mariana's Variety, and Saipan Tribune. So I'm not sure whether you published these articles, and if you did, if you could please provide the committee a copy of them, would appreciate it. Or you want to expand on the reason why you put it on your resume?
Because thank you for the question. I wrote this about 15 some years ago, and I couldn't find it on my computer. And I've asked that to a Variety and the Tribune, and they couldn't locate that either. But I'm sure it's there because it was published. And in there, I also put some really good ideas, but it has never been implemented. But the record is there of what I thought about CNMI then. And I still believe in the same thing right now.
Okay, thank you for sharing that, and hopefully you find your copy. And
Sure.
I'm very much interested in reading that, even if it's 15 years old. Perhaps maybe it's applicable today. You mentioned, and I do appreciate the fact that you have been here for 30 years doing business in the Commonwealth. And so you have seen the growth, and you have seen now you're seeing also the dips again
Yes.
of our economy. So I'm sure that you'll be sharing a lot of your experiences with the other members of the zoning board and also your staff. And I do want to encourage you to please work closely with the personnel that are working within the zoning office. I mean, they're great people, and I know that they provide service to the community and to try to make it seamless for the businesses to go through the process of their application. You mentioned certain things about the process of zoning, landscaping, urban planning, signage. These are very important when we talk about the image of the Commonwealth. And we're not just talking about the Garapan Core District. it seems to me that there's quite there's a lot of I guess a greater percentage of focus in terms of development in the tourist Garapan Core District, but we need to be reminded that the entire island needs a facelift because there's other businesses that are also located in the middle of Saipan and the southern part of Saipan and in the back of Saipan. And so when tourists go around, we need to make sure that what they see in the Garapan Core District may not be as bright in the middle or the southern side or the back side, but everything pretty much is well planned out so that they have a better view and a long time I guess reminder of their visit to the Commonwealth and that they would like to come back again. I also do want to mention to you, and you could bring it back if you get confirmed. There's always a monthly meeting with the Saipan Chamber of Commerce. And obviously, these are the clients of zoning. And for me, I do participate in a lot of their meetings, but what I don't notice is a lot of the public sector entities' involvement. And I think it's a great opportunity for networking for government entities, administrators, or staff. And I truly promote to also allow the staff to participate in this kind of networking processes so that they also can mature up and learn more from the business sector of what exactly are they looking for with respect to zoning and any other permitting agency of the government. I think that's a great building relationship so that people will have a better understanding of why we do things, why the zoning office does this and does that, and we can minimize the frustration of the business sector. Parking spaces, I appreciate Representative Camacho for bringing that up. I'd like to hear from you, your observation of the current development right now in the Garapan Core District. I hear a lot of complaints from businesses about the lack of parking. The design is way out there. It's hard to turn around. What is your opinion of that?
Thank you for the question. I do not want to criticize of the current development going on right now, but as I see it, for my personal 2 cents, is that having a parking space in front of your business, we call that a junk. So the cars that parked in front of your business, right now it may be beautiful, but down the line there's some ugly cars and some vehicles that are not good looking parked in front of your area. It makes the building look very not appreciative. So I think there is a way to resolve that, but right now it's a little bit too late. But as I see it, yes, having a parking space in front of your establishment, in down the line, it's just not going to look well. It doesn't, aesthetic wise, facade, it does not look well for the business. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, so that's a very stark contrast to what others are concerned about, not having the ability for customers to park in front of the establishment so that they could get down and, shop and spend their money. So I guess different opinions applies to different people, but that's for your conversation at the board level and many other permitting agencies of how can we go about in terms of making sure that the areas are well planned out and that both businesses and consumers are accommodated, basically. And the other issue that I do want to bring up to you, the accessibility for disabled persons also. I'd like to bring that to your attention so that when it comes down to urban planning and any other development, again, across the island, that these are taken into consideration, that we do have visitors and locals that are utilizing the spaces, that they are also disabled and that their accessibility is very important and they are customers as well. And so I'd like for you to also focus on that. You use the word appreciative, but I'm going to use that word with respect to development. When the value of a property appreciates, it's because the property is being well maintained. And I think that's where we need to start paying attention and giving more focus with how we develop Saipan in particular, considering that this is where zoning applies. And not just zoning, but every other permitting agency or regulatory agency that is involved in the planning and designing of Saipan. That we have to bear in mind that when we do plan out, that we also incorporate the appreciation of the property value. And that benefits the business, it benefits the private residents also of the Commonwealth. So please have that in mind all the time when you're making decisions and making recommendations. I don't have any further questions, but I look forward to your thoughts and your ideas, your 15 years ago ideas. I hope you find that article. I really would like to read that. And then if you do, before the next NIO session, provide us a copy so we can make it part of our official report to the committee as a whole. With no further questions, I will take a short recess. Thank you, members. We are back from our short recess. So now we're going to move on to, actually, I'm going to ask Representative BJ Atto to make a motion for the Standing Committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Motion for the formulation of a committee report to the full body of the delegation for the confirmation of Mr. Steve Jang. So move.
There's a motion to prepare the Standing Committee report for the confirmation of Mr. Steve Jang as a recommendation to the full body of the SNOW delegation, and it has been seconded. All those in favor say aye. Nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 7, announcements. Members, we don't have any other pending matters in our committee, so when we do, as usual, I will let you guys know ahead of time. And now we're down to the last item on the agenda, item number 8 for adjournment. May I hear a motion to adjourn? There's a motion to adjourn this meeting this morning, has been seconded. All those in favor say aye. Nay. This meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you, members.